Hello. Have you wondered why your computer, your cell phone, your website, or social media they ask you for just too much information? I have too. My name is Fidel, and in this channel, I provide my personal reflections, my experience about computers, about the life, but mostly about computers. So now, today, I want you and me to talk about Windows system and why we should use Windows system, or if we are not using the Windows system, what are the alternatives out there? Okay, just about the question I asked you, like the websites, the cell phone, the computer, when you buy a new one, or even when it's a working one, they ask for too much information, like your location, your name, your birthday, too much information, what you like, what for, where do they keep our information, and what do they do with that. At least these are my biggest questions. On top of that, they charge us for their software most of the times. Like for example, Windows, they will ask you for your personal information, for your location, for your likes and dislikes. They'll show you ads and they'll sell you the license. If you don't buy the license, you can't use Windows. Okay? That's what happens. So, even if you don't care about your information being sold, the price can be huge, a huge drawback. So, for me, as you may have guessed, that's a reason I quit. I stopped using Windows. I live in Mozambique, in Africa. $1 is just like too much money. With $1, you can have lunch. Yeah, honestly saying. So imagine buying a license. I don't even know how much it costs. So I had to quit Windows. So if I stopped using Windows, did I buy a MacBook? No, I can't afford that. That's too much for me. A Chromebook then, because it's cheap. No, a Chromebook can't afford me because I like doing heavy stuff on a computer. So what did I do? I installed Debian GNU Linux. What's Debian? I have heard about Debian, what's that? So, Debian is the Windows that you don't have to buy. You don't have to update every other day, and it doesn't collect your personal information. It's an operating system that belongs to the Linux family of operating systems. The fact is, the majority of servers out there run Linux, but Linux is not just for servers. I use it on my laptop. This is my laptop. So let me ask you a question. What do you do with your PC? Isn't it typing documents, gaming, watching movies, maybe video editing, graphic design, software development, maybe, because that's like for advanced users. All of that you can do with Debian Linux installation. You could also do with Mac OS. If you could do with Mac OS, why not you? Linux. Why not us? We can do that. So Debian or any other Linux distribution provides the base for other apps and games to be installed. If you install Debian, you sure can install a document writer. We have like LibreOffice, which can do lots of stuff, even more than the Microsoft Office. You can install GIMP, and you can also install Windows software on a Linux using the Wine. Yeah, lots of stuff. Okay? This just means if you install Debian, you just installed an alternative to Windows, and you'll be happy ever after. But not really, maybe, because in the beginning, you may wish you kept with Windows because there are just lots of things you will have to learn. But you're too busy for that. When I started, I didn't know learn anything at all. I had to learn from zero. But now I use Linux as my only operating system for more than 2 years, and I'm not coming back to Windows. I'm good. And now, okay, I shouldn't be asking, but please subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't. This will make me post more videos because it's a motivation, and also YouTube will recommend this video to lots of people. If you know someone who will be interested in this video, please share with them. Now, let's say this is the first video of many I wish to upload about Debian, because I think if you're using Windows and you're fed up with that, Debian is the solution. Debian is an operating system, it's a Linux operating system, but what makes me recommend this to you is because it's easy to use, easy to install, and it's reliable. Of all the operating systems I've used, this is the most reliable. Maybe you have heard about others like Mint, Ubuntu, whatever. Most of these are based on Debian. So why use Ubuntu if you can use the base, the Debian, right? So first, it's free of cost. You don't pay any license, you don't buy the software, you just download it for free, you burn it and you install. Well, I told you, I struggled to buy the Windows license, and this is like a huge bonus for me. Second, it's stable and secure. You don't get hacked easily. Fact is, most of the virus software out there, they are made for Windows. You may get a Trojan, right? Or any other virus in a USB. When you insert into Linux, that won't work. Apart of that, Linux also has lots of technologies to protect you from spyware, from vulnerabilities, and yeah, that's just like advanced stuff, but one thing is sure, Windows is secure, and that's why they use Windows for the biggest techs out there. And also it supports lots of hardware. If your laptop was built around 2000, 1999, I'm sure you can use Debian on it. Even if you're using Raspberry Pi, like the mini computers, I don't know if that's called mini computers, you can use Debian on that. But Windows, I think if you're using a 2010 computer, you can't install Windows on that. But Debian does. So if you have your old computer that you haven't been using for lots of years, try Debian or any other Linux distro. I think it will work. Flexibility when installing it. The installer for Debian is a graphical one. You just have to click the buttons, choose what you want, and boom, in like 30 minutes you'll be done, or less. And the upgrades are predictable. You don't just wake up and see, okay, now you have to upgrade your system. No, they are predictable. There is a release date, and you can choose not to install. It's not like mandatory. It's never mandatory. Okay. For example, I'm using Windows 12. I have there is Windows. I'm using Debian 12, and there is Debian 13 available. I can just choose to remain with Debian 12 until I want to update. There will not be any pop-up screen, a blue screen saying, okay, you have to upgrade. Unfortunately, no, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen with Debian. And what else? I've talked about lots of things. I think these are enough for you to consider installing a Debian. Now, if you're interested, if you think, okay, maybe I could use a Debian, subscribe, like the video. I'll post more videos on how to install Debian, how to use Debian. For example, this is my screen. This is what I do. How I use the Debian. I can take documents, I can use YouTube, I can do lots of things, I can edit photos. So, but you can see the design is different from the Windows, okay? but this is because of the graphical interface I'm using. In Linux, we have graphical interface, which is separated from the operating system. If I want to, I can install a graphical interface that's more like Windows. For example, we have what's that called? KDE. Yeah, KDE, lots of stuff. And if you choose to install Debian, you'll choose the graphical interface you want. If you want to use one more like a a tablet or an Android, or if you want to use one more like all the Windows, right? Or maybe like a MacBook, you can do that, right? Thank you. Cheers.